In the dazzling world of South Korean entertainment, where love stories often blur the lines between fiction and reality, Chae Soo-bin and Yoo Yeon-seok stand as one of the most intriguing and talked-about couples. Their romance seems plucked from a K-drama script, beautiful, unexpected, and brimming with emotional depth, as fans marvel at their chemistry both on and off the screen. The question inevitably arises, how does Chae Soo-bin keep the affections of Yoo Yeon-seok, and adored by thousands of women, grounded firmly in their relationship? Theirs is not just a story of stardom, but of subtle connection and mutual respect forged in an industry that rarely allows privacy, let alone emotional sanctuary. The two first crossed paths during a charity film event. Quiet evening where they were seated at the same table, though surrounded by a sea of lights, cameras, and whispers. They found comfort in each other's company. Conversations flowed, not about fame, but about books, food, and philosophy, topics that revealed a rare compatibility. It wasn't an instant affair splashed across tabloid covers. Instead, their relationship blossomed in the quiet moments between takes, in late-night phone calls after exhausting shoots, and in shared cups of coffee on set. They cultivated their bond away from the public eye, laying a foundation that would eventually withstand the spotlight's unforgiving glare. As their bond deepened, so did the attention. Yoo Yeon-seok, known for his roles in blockbuster dramas and films, has long been a heartthrob with a massive female fanbase. From college students to middle-aged drama lovers, his charm transcends demographics. For Chae Soo-bin, being in a relationship with someone who is constantly adored by the public came with its own set of emotional complexities. When their relationship went public, reactions were intense and polarizing. Some fans expressed genuine support, praising the couple's elegance and compatibility. Others, however, were less kind, projecting their fantasies onto Yoo Yeon-seok and accusing Chae Soo-bin of taking him away. Such responses reflect the unique challenges celebrity couples face in a culture where fandom can be deeply personal and territorial. Despite this, Chae Soo-bin never lashed out, never fueled rumors, and never appeared rattled. Instead, she carried herself with grace, offering only kind words during interviews. She acknowledged the attention with a smile, often saying, "I understand the love people have for him. It's beautiful to see. But what we share is just for us." Her confidence didn't stem from possessiveness but from assurance, an inner calm rooted in knowing who she is and the strength of their connection. For Chae Soo-bin, the real key was not to compete with thousands of women, but to cultivate a love that didn't need comparison. She didn't fight to stand out. Instead, she leaned into authenticity. Interestingly, her own rising career added dimension to the relationship. A talented actress in her own right, Chae Soo-bin had been steadily building her reputation with strong performances in dramas such as I'm Not a Robot and Where Stars Land. Far from being overshadowed by Yoo Yeon-seok's fame, she carved her own space in the industry. Critics lauded her for her range, and fans admired her for being relatable, grounded, fiercely independent. That independence became a cornerstone of their relationship. In a world where celebrity couples often struggle with balance, Chae Soo-bin and Yoo Yeon-seok seemed to complement each other. They respected one another's space and careers, understanding that their love was not a leash but a partnership. Behind closed doors, their relationship remained refreshingly ordinary. They went on simple dates, picnics in parks, hidden cafes in Seoul's quieter neighborhoods, and long drives with no destination in mind. It's in these unglamorous, tender moments that their bond truly strengthened. No flashing lights, no entourage, just two people deeply connected. Their private moments remain private, yet every now and then, fans caught glimpses that reaffirmed their affection. A candid photo of them laughing together, a subtle handhold at an awards ceremony, even matching outfits worn unknowingly. The subtlety was their charm. Of course, with great love comes challenges. There were months when they barely saw each other due to shooting schedules. At one point, Chae Soo-bin was filming a project overseas while Yoo Yeon-seok was immersed in back-to-back drama promotions. Distance tested them, but instead of faltering, they found new ways to connect: voice messages, shared playlists, and morning calls became anchors in their day. Made time, even if it meant waking up at dawn or staying up past midnight, and when schedules aligned, they cherished every minute. Mutual effort spoke volumes about their priorities. They weren't clinging to each other in fear of loss, committing in quiet ways that built trust. When asked in an interview how she handled the pressure of being with someone so desired, Chae Soo-bin smiled and said, "It's not about holding on tight. It's about knowing we're walking side by side. And if others are watching." She didn't play games, didn't try to outshine his admirers. Instead, she focused on nurturing what they had. Quiet strength, combined with emotional intelligence, allowed her to be present without becoming possessive. What made their relationship unique was how much they supported each other professionally. Yoo Yeon-seok frequently praised her work in interviews, calling her a force of nature on screen, while she, in turn, often cited him as her greatest encouragement. Whether it was a role she was nervous to take on or a script he was unsure about, they became each other's sounding board. The chemistry between them was not just romantic, it was intellectual, emotional, and deeply respectful. In many ways, represented a new kind of celebrity couple, one rooted not in prairie campaigns or public affection, but in real, grounded love. Chae Soo-bin's understanding of love in the context of fame is both refreshing and insightful. In a rare interview, she once said, "Not about keeping someone, it's about choosing them every day, even when it's hard." That philosophy became the essence of their relationship. She never saw herself as competing with anyone else. Instead, she focused on strengthening the bond that only she and Yoo Yeon-seok shared. Thousands of fans may adore him, but none of them share their morning rituals, their inside jokes, or their dreams whispered during sleepless nights. For Chae Soo-bin, the strength of her relationship with Yoo Yeon-seok lay in emotional intimacy, not public affirmation. She never tried to be the loudest voice in the room. Instead, she chose to be the most present in his life, the one who truly listens, understands, and supports. Quiet consistency, in a world full of fleeting attention, became her greatest strength. The idea of thousands of girls is symbolic as much as it is literal. In the entertainment world, temptation and admiration are constants, but Chae Soo-bin viewed it differently. "They're not my enemies," she said once. "They love him because of what he gives them on screen. I love him for who he is off screen." That difference is vital. Her love was not based on image, but reality. Saw the sides of him that fans never did, the unguarded, tired, sometimes insecure parts. And she loved those parts just as fiercely. When Yoo Yeon-seok faced harsh criticism for a role that didn't resonate with audiences, it was Chae Soo-bin who stood by him, offering encouragement and perspective. She reminded him of his worth beyond reviews and box office numbers. He, in turn, celebrated her victories as if they were his own. There's something powerful about a relationship where both people root for each other's growth. They weren't trying to hold each other back, nor were they threatened by each other's success. Instead, they evolved together. One of the most touching stories comes from a time when they both had premieres on the same night. Instead of attending each other's events separately, they agreed to meet after midnight at a quiet rooftop they frequented. There, they shared stories, laughter, pizza, choosing presence over publicity. In a world obsessed with appearances, their relationship was refreshingly authentic. It didn't need filters or curated Instagram posts. It lived in handwritten notes, matching mugs at home, in support given without expectation. Chae Soo-bin also made a conscious choice not to feed into media narratives. She avoided exploiting their relationship for attention. There were no staged paparazzi shots or over-the-top declarations. Her privacy was sacred, and so was their bond. As the relationship matured, so did their understanding of love. It wasn't just about passion anymore, it was about partnership. They learned to navigate misunderstandings, accept differences, and grow from challenges. When asked what advice she'd give to others in high-profile relationships, Chae Soo-bin simply said, "Don't try to be what you think they need. Be who you are, and if it's real, that's all that matters." Her authenticity has inspired many. Young fans admire her for being unapologetically herself. Industry peers praise her poise, Yoo Yeon-seok. He simply calls her his piece. Their love story continues, not in grand gestures, but in everyday choices. It's holding hands after a long day, sharing silence without awkwardness, or laughing until their stomachs hurt. They've created something rare. Perhaps the real lesson Chae Soo-bin offers isn't about how to keep someone loved by thousands. It's about being the one person who sees them fully, and loves them anyway. Because in the end, you don't keep someone like Yoo Yeon-seok, you walk beside him, day by day. If you're lucky, he chooses to walk beside you.